Greetings and salutations, this is Rick Copple coming at you from Denver, Colorado, and another episode of Not Only a Screwer Guy channel. Today we're going to look at setting up Fedora 34 Cinnamon Desktop. Yeah, we're going to do Cinnamon Desktop this time because of X11. It's got X11 on it instead of Wayland, which works better with OBS, so works better for doing screenshots and stuff like that. So anyway, we got that on the other side of the intro. And yeah, we got Fedora 34 that we reviewed yesterday, or the day before. I don't remember which one it was. I think it's yesterday. Yeah, yesterday morning. I put it earlier in the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning. I had it up, and one of the followers asked me to tell how to set it up. Now, I'm not as familiar with Gnome, but I probably could tell you how to set up Gnome, some of these things. But I decided to look at Cinnamon Desktop, Cinnamon Spin as they call it, and do that. Since I'm more familiar with how to set up Cinnamon, that works for me. So that's what we're going to do right now. Alright, we're doing this again. Yeah, I installed this and I had it set up and I went through the whole setup procedure. Came back, the audio was bad on it. So I had to do something different because I couldn't get the audio to work on this laptop computer with Fedora 34. I think because of Pipewire being on there instead of PulseAudio, which is what OBS set primarily to handle. So yeah, we had some problems with that. So here's a clue: if you use OBS a lot, you probably don't want to use Wayland and 34 with Pipewire, at least until OBS adds enough workarounds to their software that it'll work with Wayland and OBS. Now I did get Wayland to screen to work before on the beta version I was working on before, but I never could get the Pipewire to work with OBS. Might be a workaround out there somewhere for it I didn't hit on or find out, but yeah. That's one reason I installed Cinnamon on this, because I know Cinnamon probably used X11 instead of Wayland, and it does, and I got the screen, but it still uses Pipewire for the audio. So until there's Pipewire support for OBS and audio, I guess I'm stuck. So I'm having to record the video on this screen while I record the audio on my other computer, and then I'll merge them in post-production. How about that? I've done that one other time. I'll try to do it again this time, see if it works out good. So this is Cinnamon and Cinnamon Desktop, which is one of my favorite ones I use a lot. So, as most people who watch the channel anytime know. And I've got I've now everything I've done on here I've already done, so I basically reset things back to the way I had them as much as I could, and I'm going to show you what I did, how with my setup procedures on the new system. In this case, Fedora 34 Cinnamon Desktop. So this is what it looks like pretty much out of the box, aside from the little OBS things on here. I had to install OBS through special. On Fedora, you have to install a repository before you install OBS. So you have to do that. Anyway, yeah, I set this up. Went to configure, first thing I did. And I set this to on. Open the menu when I move my mouse over it. That way I don't have to click. because I got Parkinson's, the less I have to click, the better off I am. Yeah, so I got that, and then I typed up in here power. Oops. Power like that, and its first thing pops is power management, which is what I want. So I just hit enter. It pops up power manager. Now by default this is set to I can't remember how it was set, 15 minutes or 30 minutes or something like that. I set it to never. And I set this already out of the box set to never. And this do nothing. Now I do all this under AC power. Battery I leave alone because you want that on battery. If you're on battery, you want to conserve your power as much as possible. And under when lid is closed, I say do nothing. That goes back to my time of having two screens attached to this computer. I always put on there because when I close the lid, I just wanted to basically turn off the screen, nothing else. And all the rest I pretty much leave as it is. And I go out of there. Now this takes care of shutting down your screen from the power manager, but you also have to go to screensaver. So we're bringing this back up here. Now I push the Windows key to get this window pop up. That's how fast you can do things in here. If you wanted to, I go pop screensaver and pop it up right like that fast. Now you have to go in here. You have to set this to never. And lock settings when it puts lock the computer when it puts sleep. Nope. And I have it for lock computer after screensaver starts. Nope. But I put screensaver to be never. So I think it defaults 15 minutes. If you go away and do something 15 minutes, you can come back and have a screensaver going. Now I kind of like to not have that because one, you don't really need screensaver. It's just a kind of a nice thing to have, I guess, if you don't want you're in an environment where other people might mess with your computer while you're not around it. That's a good idea to do. Lock the screen, that kind of thing. If you're like me, where I'm the only one around my computer most of the time, and I don't have to worry about anybody coming in here and messing with it much, then I just want it on all the time, so I don't have to hit buttons and bring things back up and enter a password to get back into it and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I do that. Now you may have a different function. You may like screensavers, you may like that kind of thing. So play around with your own settings, however you want to do it. That's up to you. That's what I do for first thing, so I don't have to have it blinking out on me like sometimes it's uploading. Because one of the next things I do, see, I have an SSD card that's currently plugged in my other computer. I have my whole home directory backed up onto it. And of course, when you install a new system, half the time, most of the time, you don't have it where your home directory is installed on there. So you can see I have a script, two scripts I use. One's copy home and one's restore home. And I'm a little leery to make those available because I have to go in and edit them occasionally and stuff like that. But yeah, if somebody requests, I might stick it up on my script page on my website, so it can be downloaded. But yeah, I have to put together help files and all that kind of stuff to work on this. But anyway, it restores all my stuff from my home directory as I do it. So what I do here is I go to my SD card, and I'll copy this like that. I go to home. Now there wouldn't be normally already in here, but then I paste it into this thing. Control V, it'll paste it, it'll put bin in there, and it'll all be there. Then what I do is I go into my Fedora, into here, into my terminal. I already said terminal, and I'll cd into bin, and yeah, you see I have in the store sh. I put all, because that basically tells it that I'm going to restore the whole thing back there, and I hit enter. Then it'll start cooking, and it'll start restoring everything back in there. Now, sometimes I have to edit that. And because I have this here set, if I have a different home directory I want to install to, I have to change that, because I usually don't have to change that one. That's usually what I always call myself right on all my things. And then this is what I have to change frequently. It's different distros do this differently. So I have run media, like if you install Arch, and it'll have run media rec SSD storage. Yes, that wouldn't work normally, because I have to change that to where the all goes to at least. And so that's what I do there. I have to go in and edit this part, these parts to the right thing, which in this case would be, you can tell too what it is by let's go see run right there in the middle. That's what needs to be in there. Copy that. Then you go back up to your home. Go down here. And mark. Control A. Sets mark. Delete that. There you go. Now I do all, put it to my, it'll pull it from my SSD card. And then you save that, and you're ready to roll. Now I'm not going to do it all over again, because I already did it one time. I'm not going to do it all over again on this deal. But yeah, it worked, and so you can see on the yeah, you can see I have all this data in here, documents, 1152 megabytes, and music. In fact, I'll show on here. So I have pictures here, and music, and documents, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's what I do there. Then once it takes a while, because it's a lot of data to transfer over. It's 256 gigabyte hard disk, I mean SSD disk. card that I have installed in here. So yeah, it's almost halfway filled up, so it does quite a bit of installation, several gigs of data there to back up. Alright, so now we're going to, one of the things I usually do too is I will do an install function. Now let's go back to that, because I have certain software I like and I installed and I created scripts for these. Yeah, so you look at this. And there we go. So we have installed Arch base install, Debian base install, Fedora base install, and Solus base install. I have all these. Okay, so yeah, I have this all down here. Programs I install. There's my list of programs I install on here. And it works pretty well for me. LibreOffice. I have to do what I did with OBS Studio. I usually don't install OBS Studio this way because it varies. Like on this, I couldn't install it until I entered the new repositories for it. But most of the programs I install this way now. There's a few things I have down here that I install differently. One is the SSH server. Matter of fact, it's old. I haven't even changed it to the DNF here installed. But just I usually have that commented out unless I'm ready to install the SSH server on the computer I'm installing it on. This is Brave browser. I used to use that. I don't anymore. That's why it's commented out. Let's use Firefox. And cinnamon text font that I have installed. This install script I changed up. I haven't changed this particular one up yet, but I do change it up. And I use cinnamon text for my novels and stuff because that's a good solid novel-like text to use for that. Then now this is if I like celluloid as my video player. So if the repositories don't have it, it hasn't installed it yet, then it'll go to Flatpaks and install from Flatpaks. That's pretty much it. So I did that, and so I installed new packages. Now I have all this stuff on here. So yeah, like sound music, there's the Tyler and celluloid right there. And OBS course installed. This is default, out of box, out of box, out of box, out of box. Now I like the full version of LibreOffice, so I may have to like uninstall LibreOffice and install LibreFresh on here. Actually do it. I'll take that process right now. How about it? Be something fun to do. Internet, Firefox, Thunderbird, graphics, Krita I installed, a.k.a. I installed. Shotwell I did install. Shotwell came out of the box, but I like to use different editor anyway, but I'm not going to add anything on this computer, so that's neither here nor there. And anyway, I think pretty much everything there is out of the box as it listed. next thing I might do, and these are in no particular order at this point. I've had the first thing, the first, second, third, but after a certain point, it's just you do them pretty much whatever order you need to do them in, or you come to it and think about doing it. So I have change backgrounds. Now I installed Fedora 33 backgrounds on here because I kind of like those, but yeah, you can install other backgrounds on here. So I'll do that in a minute. But what I like in basic, that's this. A little dark, probably more dark for some people's taste. But now this this goes without saying, but the first thing you should do when you first install a system is do updates. But this updater is not very intuitive, I guess you'd say. Right here, check, let's see, the check for updates, maybe that'll work better than just going for update. 19 updates, okay, we'll do it then. Go and check. So this is what it looks like in updates. As this entry, nothing happens. You have to click into it. You have to click on something for it to show up. You have to go down through and click all these things you want to update. Then I can never really figure out where the button is to update it at. Clear search, redirect names. That'll be up here. Yeah. See? You have a clear way to hit click update button somewhere on here. I can't find it. So I just go updates. There's a lot of updates lately. So if you see that pop up, then the easier way to do it is to go here, go sudo dnf upgrade. Now you don't have to put an update and then upgrade like you do on Debian-based systems with apt, because Debian-based systems, yeah, you're only supposed to do that. Now they automatically check on it before they do the upgrade. They do check to see if you need to update. It's just a quick check the last time you updated, and if it's been long enough, they do the update and they do the upgrade. Plus, I think generally this is a pretty quick and fast installer. It seems to zip through it pretty well. Of course, this SSD drive on this computer, so that's probably one thing that helps it zip along. But yeah, now it's finished downloading everything. I'm just going to install it. See, it goes through. Yeah, the zip through upgrades, clean up, verifying. It's done. All that stuff's been upgraded. And I can continue on with my work unimpeded. So that's how I do upgrades on here, but yeah, if you do the background checks, oh yeah, I'm going to show you backgrounds. And background, you can do a search by DNF. You don't have to put sudo for this for searches. DNF, just put in background, and then it'll, you know, all this stuff. Less. So you want to check it out as it goes. Do that now. You see all these base backgrounds. It's got all the Fedora 30, 23, 22, 21. So if you have any favorite Fedora from previous install, you can install this background base arch. And we have backgrounds for XFCE, cinnamon, all those things. So if you have a favorite background on even another installation, you can probably install it on here. Without any problems. It'll be thrown in your 34. So you got backgrounds here for Fedora 34. Default backgrounds, base images for XFC, Fedora Jam desktop backgrounds. I'm not sure what that is exactly, but I can take it out like this. And mark that, copy it. And then I want to install the Jam backgrounds. Do DNF, install. No injury. Let's see what we get. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, installed. So now to be able to change my backgrounds, have some new Jam backgrounds there, wherever those are. Let's see, we have some Jam right here. I install nothing. This is it's time getting in there. Oh, interesting. This whatever installation didn't work on that one. Didn't put the folder in there, but didn't install any backgrounds. So I guess I can't use those. So that's how you install background. Usually install the backgrounds. Those dependencies didn't work or something like that. This is new distro. We're fresh out of the box, so who knows what little glitches and things you might run into that aren't quite ready and fixed yet. Beta version might indicate they rush some of these spins out a little bit, so before they're really ready. So anyway, that's how I set up my thing. Oh, the only other thing is occasionally you have the occasional software you like to set up, like LibreOffice. Now I told you I had cinnamon text there. Well, that didn't work because I had to fix the installation to make it to what I'm currently doing. I could manually insert them in there if I wanted to. I know what you need to do, where they're at, but yeah, you notice here I have default paragraph comes up with it already indented, which isn't the default template in LibreOffice Writer. And if I had my text, crimson text set up, I'd already have it. That'd show up here too. I don't have it in here yet. So how I do that is I set it up however I want. I go into styles, edit style, and set indents and spacing here, which I did, 0.25 inches. and I made it 1.15 lines long, spacing between the lines. And if I had my crimson text available, I'd be here. That says for crimson text, regular 12 point, and then I would say, okay, that's pretty much all for that, and I would say okay on it. Then I'd do the same thing. I go to heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, set those up like I like them. Which have certain things like center of the text, that kind of thing, like a book, like expecting a book. And also I have a heading 2, I make it to where the paragraphs, not paragraphs, and it inserts a page right before heading 2 for each one. So all I have to do is say this is heading 2 text, and it automatically pops into the next page and ends the previous chapter. This is my chapter headings, heading 2. So that's up that way. Then when you've got it all set up how you want it, look, you just go up here, and here to templates, save this template, put in a name for your template, like my default what I commonly use. You put in my templates here, and you have to click this thing here if you want to save set as your default template. Then you click save, and it'll save it as your default template. Of course, I've already got it set that way, so I'm not going to do it now, but yeah, that's how you do that. Don't save. So yeah, you set up individual programs. As I usually those kind of the first time I use them in here, I set them up like Cantata. There's a initial setup phase. You got to go through that with MDP, which is a database function that sorts and makes the music available in Cantata. And so yeah, so each time I encounter a new program that I haven't set up yet, I set up at that point. So yeah, you can do it as you wish, however you do it. If you want to do it all at one time, you can do it all at one time if you have set up for that. I just kind of do it and hit them. That's pretty much what I do for the most part. I install my home directory, reinstall my home directory. I set up my installation pages, install programs I like with my installation scripts I've set up. And the first thing to do is I set my menu so I don't have to click on it to bring menu up in Cinnamon at least. KD I don't think has that feature that I've been able to cover, discover. Then I set Power Manager and Screensaver so it doesn't close out my screen or lock my screen up when I'm on it. Just computer's down indefinitely until I either unplug it and it's on battery power or I turn it off. So that's what I do on that. So I set up my thing to use. There's probably other tricks you can use to do it, but other things I can do. Some people have some more go into system settings, do this, that, and the other thing for this reason, that reason. I worry too much about those things. Sure, some things like setting repositories, things like that I can go over. But yeah, so pin a kernel. If you want to pin your kernel, you can do that. And maybe someday I'll go over how to pin a kernel, but I don't want to make this too long, so I'll end it here. Go back and have a chat. Okay, we're here back for chat, and we want to let you know that Cinnamon Fedora looks pretty good, doesn't it? I think. I like it quite a bit, actually. Actually, I think that's what I used for my daily driver for a while, was Cinnamon spin a Fedora if I remember correctly before. I think I've used it a couple times from the driver. And I could use that pretty easy again. But I got Pop! OS right now, and I think I'll stick with that for the time being. At least for a little longer. So I have that to look forward to. Plus, I promised that I'd look at Pop! OS more in depth a little bit, rather than just a new user review, but a review period of Pop! OS. And Gnome, as I got it on here, since I don't have an option for that. No cinnamon for me. So, yeah, we'll look at that next time or soon or something. I'm not sure what we're going to do next. I have an idea what I want to do next, but I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen next time. A couple weeks, might do something special with my son, but we'll find out how fast that goes. But anyway, if you like this video, hit subscribe and like and notification bell and all that good stuff, and come on down. Till next time, may the Linux Force be with you. Bye.